everyone, to another episode of the world's greatest news and reviews. Today on the show, we're going to be talking about the Arrow Season 4 finale. So, kind of excited to keep going with the Berlantiverse. We already gave you our Flash review. Hope you guys enjoyed that. We'll keep going after this, give us a Legends review, and hopefully down the pipe a Supergirl review. But let's start with a show that kind of started everything on the CW. Kind of started the whole TV superhero genre going really big. And that was Arrow. For those of you who don't know, Arrow follows the DC superhero Oliver Queen, who is the vigilante, the Green Arrow, at nights. Basically, he's Batman, or he wants to be. I like to joke around and call this show Discount Batman. So me and Lonnie was doing when we watch it because it's pretty funny. My overall thoughts is I like the show. I think the show is entertaining. I think the show has fallen off pretty hard recently and doesn't quite know where it is anymore. It needs to kind of find its way again. But it's still an entertaining show. John, what do you think of Arrow as a whole?
I like the show. I have to disagree about the falling out part, though. I thought if you'd asked me about last season, I thought there was more falling out in that season than there was this season.
So you think this season came back a
I
bit?
think it kind of did. Okay. Which we'll get into later, the twists that happened during this season, I feel, made it even better. Mm-hmm. The losing the people we lost, blah blah blah, and I enjoyed it. But I've been a fan of the show since season 1. So.
Yeah, I'm with John. I've been a fan since season 1. The thing with Arrow, when it came out, I had to look up some stuff about Arrow. I didn't really know much about him. So after reading it, it's just pretty much like he's like Bruce Wayne with money, but he's just not as smart. I mean, obviously, Bruce Wayne's like a genius compared to Oliver Queen, who has a team of people helping him. And Batman did this stuff for a long time by himself before he started having people. So anyway, there's a lot of similarities. So yeah, we started joking about the Discount Batman thing. But as far as the Arrow of the show itself, like I said, I read up on it. I like the show. And once that show came out and started all this other superhero stuff on TV, as far as the Berlantiverse, it was awesome. I'm enjoying the heck out of it. So, and then we'll get into more stuff later.
Cool. So if you guys don't know much about Oliver Queen himself, he is a billionaire. He lives in Starling City, later renamed to Star City. He becomes a vigilante with a bow and arrow, so he's called the Green Arrow. And he also is mayor in the comics. Now, in the comics, he's also like a really charismatic, really funny, really witty character. And in the show, they don't portray that at all. Like, they really want to make him Batman. So he's really stoic and broody all the time.
Is it possible he's more stoic and broody than freaking Batman is, in my opinion?
Well, they want him to be. The problem is, jumping on kind of what I think about Stephen Amell, is I like the guy well enough. He seems to really enjoy doing the Arrow show and really gets into it.
Right.
I don't think he's that great of an actor. Because every time he's supposed to be like guarding a secret or showing no emotion or trying to brood, it just comes off like he can't fucking act to me. It comes off like he's just not there in the scene. Like Felicity is
We will
acting...
find out more when we go to watch the Turtles.
Yeah. Felicity acts her poor ass off and is just in tears, and he's just standing there like the fucking Terminator. Be like, I can't tell you why, because of reasons. So we'll get more on that in a bit. But whatever.
Why? Because of reasons.
I just wanted to kind of say that the show depicts the character Oliver Queen a little bit different in the comics, and touching on what Lonnie says, how he gets people with him almost right away. He gets a character named John Diggle and Felicity Smoke with him almost right away, and then recurring characters that we'll get to. But thank God they do, because if it was just fucking Oliver Queen, just Stephen Amell, it would be kind of rough.
Yeah.
But any good show, any good superhero show, movie, whatever, a lot of it's carried by its villain. I think you guys will agree. What did we think of Damien Dark as a big guy? Lonnie, as the bad guy. As
Damien Dark,
bad.
Yeah, the
Try to give
antagonist.
a little info.
The antagonist in this one, Damien Dark, he was, a guy that used magic. I honestly, when some of these villains come up, there's some that I know about. Damien Dark, again, was one that I didn't know much about. I didn't even go and look stuff up. I just waited for the next episodes to come up and show and to explain more about him. Now, he was a great villain, I think, for this show. But the thing with this show is 23 episodes. Why can't they have more than just one antagonist in the show, in the season? Like, it just, after a while, I got bored. I'm tired of seeing this guy. Mm-hmm. I'm tired of all the crap. It was the same shit. Like, how many times are you going to shoot arrows at somebody that stops him in midair? Really? How many freaking times are you going to do this? It pissed me off more than I thought. It's like, but seriously, they do the same shit. It's like, I think Jeremy said something about him not learning a lesson.
Yeah.
Like, going through the same shit in the season, over and over again. Jeez. somebody stops Nero as I shoot at him, I'm not gonna shoot him anymore. Like I'm gonna do something else anyway. But Damien Dark, the magic, and all this other good stuff.
Arrow.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, whatever.
Okay,
So
so
But Damien Dark is like I don't know. I did like him as a villain, but I just think it went too long. I got bored with the guy after a while.
So, Damien Dark, they explain in the show, was a member of the League of Assassins, and he was one of the 2 remaining students who were going to assume the mantle of Ra's al Ghul. He ends up not being the one to do it. Forms his own sect, his own like military force that he calls Hive, and their plan basically is to set off all the world's nukes and just kill everybody. Because he's using magic that he gets from this little totem, and the more anger, hate, fear, whatever, the more powerful he becomes, and he wants to kill the world because reasons. So, I liked the fact that initially their antagonist this season wasn't going to be somebody who just straight up fights Oliver, because we had Ra's al Ghul last year, we had Slade Wilson in season 2, and then we had Malcolm Merlin in season 1, and all 3 of them were just physical equals to Harrow, and like they would just have this big fight at the end. I liked that first when they introduced Damien Dark, that he was using magic and like using the Force and shit, and I'm like, oh, it's not going to be a straight up fight.
Right.
But then at the very end, it's like, hey, it's a straight up fight. So
Wait, did they kill off Crixus?
no, and stop paying attention.
Those
Yes, we're not
bastards.
supposed to
They killed
listen.
No,
Crixus!
they did it.
Oh my god!
So that's your boy Jeremy. He's still on Arrow season 2, I think. And that's why he's not doing this review with us. But he's still here. You could feel his presence.
Oh,
Go ahead. But what did you
Nope.
think of Damien Dark?
Not gonna
What
do
do you
that.
think of Damien Dark?
I like you guys. I like Damien Dark. It did get old, but I like the fact that when they did fight, when they could have done something else, that he did have the thing about being from the League of Assassins. I mean, and not just a member of the League,
Although-
a pretty badass member of
I
the
want to
League.
point out some like continuity problem. He goes to prison in one episode and he gets his ass kicked by those guys because he doesn't have any magic. And then all of a sudden in the finale, he's like, "By the way, remember, I'm a member of the League of Assassins," because I forgot like 4 episodes ago. But
So-
now we're gonna fight.
And why
in
didn't he
prison, I
remember
forgot.
that in prison?
Yeah,
you
he
know,
gets his ass
he
kicked.
definitely did not do a Punisher on those guys,
No.
did he? I liked him. I mean, hopefully, as the show progresses, they can find villains that aren't members of the League of Assassins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Like
just
every
gonna
other
say,
one.
how many
But-
people are fucking members of this league?
Yeah.
Like I thought
Yeah.
it was like an elite league. You have
But
Ross,
apparent-
his daughters,
Yeah.
and I think Sarah's part of it.
Well,
and
Yeah.
freaking Merlin's part of it.
I
and
thought it was
Damien's
funny
part
when
of
they
it.
when they show Merlin's origin, and it's like, oh, my wife dies. I'm like this rich dude. I gotta go for a little while, and he just walks up to this ancient order of assassins, like, hey, can I be trained? Cool, really? That's awesome. All right, do you take debit? Like,
Visa.
it was like way too easy
Yeah.
for him to sneak into this ancient order and become a student.
Where the whole rite of passage to become a member
Mhm.
is like in years in the making,
Yeah.
and all right, you know how to fight a little bit, so let's sign you up.
I also think that, going back to the whole what we thought of the antagonist, I think that Slade Wilson in season 2, Deathstroke, was the best antagonist by like a mile. Like, I don't
agree,
even think
yeah.
that's close. But let's jump on to Team Arrow, because he does get a bunch of sidekicks around him that actually made the show really fun. We called it Discount Power Rangers and like to fuck with it also. But it actually made the show really fun seeing these people run around in costumes and stuff. So we start with John Diggle, aka Spartan, who finally this season is covering his face. Do we like him being more in the field? What do we think about that character as a whole?
With the discount Magneto helmet.
Discount Magneto helmet, yeah, that was fucking hilarious.
Whenever we
Boys.
compare something to another superhero movie or TV show, we always call it discount because it's like
Yeah, or if because we know like they want it to be this, but they can't afford it, so like
it's
that's
discount.
it's like the Red Woman in Game of Thrones, the second one who was talking to Varys and Tyrion. That's a discount Rachel Weisz. Like they really wanted Rachel
Yeah,
Weisz,
yeah.
and they couldn't afford her, so they're like, oh, let's just get this chick, discount.
Or
Rachel Weisz.
discount Bana or God.
Yeah, discount Eric Bana and
Yes.
Dario Naharis.
Yeah.
They really
Yeah.
want Eric Bana for that role. But anyway, so I like John. I think he's cool. I like he's was Oliver's Rock for so long. I thought
Yeah.
the stuff with his brother was stupid. I was over that. His
Yeah.
brother was also a shitty actor. His
Yep.
face was just angry face all the
All
time.
the time. I would suspect
You can't save me.
The only
That's
thing,
obvious. All
okay,
the whole
I
show.
agree. I'm not a big fan of that guy. I did like him in Walking Dead. I like the drunk guy. He was a drunk.
No, he wasn't.
No, I wasn't. Lonnie would have known that.
He wasn't the drunk. Bob? He wasn't
Bob.
Bob.
That wasn't Bob. See, I do that a lot.
Yeah, you do.
What the fuck? No, okay, so he was winking 8
Yeah.
Mile though.
Oh.
Yeah, he was.
So
we did fuck my girl. Still standing here screaming fuck the free world.
still though, not Bob bothered me. I didn't like not
Not
Bob. Yeah. It's just it was a very predictable storyline, and I didn't care anytime not Bob was on screen. So let's
Wow.
talk about Oliver's sister, Thea Queen. She becomes Speedy, his sidekick, or the Red Arrow, as she wants to be called. She is Malcolm Merlin's daughter, who was trained how to fight and be badass in about 3 months, and she can hang with people who have trained for years because reasons. So, but just negating that,
A lot of that happening.
yeah,
Reasons.
I like her better than Arsenal, who was his former protege.
Yeah.
His name was Roy.
He
and
would
was
do
dating
parkour
Thea.
when he didn't need to.
Yeah, he would just like run and jump and like do a triple flip over a car when he could have just like walked
Just to
around
stand
the
next-
car.
Just to stand next to him and say hi.
Just to stand, like, 3
he saw
feet.
Thea
Yeah.
in one episode and he jumps and slides across the hood
Yeah.
and stands by her and says, "Hey, how's it going?" Like, really?
Yeah.
Was that necessary?
So she doesn't do it quite that much, but she got brought back from the dead last season. Ra's al Ghul stabbed her. Spoilers. And now she has bloodlust, which I think is fucking stupid, and that whole plot point can go to hell. What do you think of Thea?
I agree.
Just dumb.
Love,
I like her.
love Thea.
Yeah, she's
love
cool.
Thea.
Yeah,
Um,
you love parts of Thea.
no, I love her. I've been a fan of her for a couple of years.
I'm gonna put a picture of her in a bikini right
You?
here. It's right
In
over
a
here.
cloud, in like a thought bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh god. Here, let
We
me
can
sit
do
there
that,
and go
right,
like
Jeremy?
this.
We can do that,
I
Jeremy,
go
right?
like this.
Jeremy,
No.
no, we can't do that.
No.
Sorry.
Yes.
Yes, this just in.
I have no idea.
This just in. Our editor says
We can do that.
We can do that.
Maybe.
Okay.
Oh god.
So you like Thea?
I
but
like.
bloodlust thing's stupid, right?
Yes, I agree with that. I think the bloodlust thing, it'd have been alright to be like, okay, there's something wrong with her after she came out because being brought from the dead in most lore,
Fuck
you don't
you.
come back the same and it fucks with you.
Yeah.
And this-
Um,
what we found out with the Lazarus Pit with other characters in the DC universe.
Yeah.
I mean, we found that out with the movie Under the
Under the
Red
Red Hood, Jason Todd comes
Yeah.
back fucked up. Yeah, that's a thing. But in this, they have to like name it specifically and give you a specific treatment for it. And I'm like, part of my problem with Arrow as a whole is it doesn't let news or like any information the characters get just kind of sit. It doesn't let you absorb anything. It's just like information given,
Yeah.
next thing,
Yeah.
next thing,
Yeah.
next thing. Big dramatic moment and next thing. Like it doesn't let anything just sink and let you feel the weight of anything. And it pisses me off. I feel like it's just jarring, or the edits are just really fucked. So like, I feel like there needs to be a little bit more time just letting emotionally heavy moments hit you. But do you guys feel that too, or no? Is that just me tripping?
No, you're right. You're right. Are you done with your thoughts of Thea? Because I mean,
Sorry. He likes Thea.
Thea's batter. I actually believe I like her in the show. I like the fact that she became part of the team. And then kind of what you said about her learning to fight too fast. I don't know. I was able to accept that because of who her father was and
Oh, yeah,
how
it doesn't-
badass he was.
It didn't bug
You
me.
know,
I just wanted to point
so-
it out.
But yeah, well, there's a lot of that. You can sit
Yeah,
there
there's
every season find shit like that too.
Here's the problem with Arrow. Arrow, like, it did start the whole Berlantiverse, and we credited for that, and it is fun in its own right. But I would show Daredevil to somebody who doesn't like superhero shows to try to get them to watch it, because I think that show is just so good in its
Yeah.
own right, it could hook them. I think The Flash is so good in its own right.
Even
it can hook.
Supergirl, you haven't
Yeah.
seen it yet,
Yeah,
but
that's what I hear.
Supergirl's the same way.
Arrow, though, is the one I'd be hesitant to show somebody. I'd be like, huh?
maybe you should watch something else.
Yeah, maybe get hooked into the genre first, and then you'll appreciate Arrow. It is fun.
Well, yeah,
sometimes.
because then you go, oh, who's this guy in the Flash or the crossover episode? The thing is I agree with that because if you've talked to people that have tried to watch Arrow, a lot of them don't like the show,
No, it's kind of hard.
and
It is a lot cheesy.
you did
Really
it take you a
cheesy.
while
It
to
took-
be
it
able
took
to
me
get
2
into
tries.
it?
It took a
Exactly.
while. I kept
Yeah.
talking to him about watching it, but I mean, we talked about it at first. He was like, "How do you go to an island for 5 years and all of a sudden you're like an almost ninja?"
Mhm.
Like, and then they had the
Well, like
flashbacks
all of a
the
sudden, it's
time,
like, oh, you know parkour, and you know how to fight, you know how to do all these things. But now, fuck it, let's jump a little bit. Now they do a storyline every fucking season with him having to do something on the island.
Yeah.
And it always pertains to exactly what's going on in the current
They
situation.
can stop with that. Really.
And yeah, I'm done with the island shit. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Also, like the whole him being alone for 5 fucking years and somehow surviving was like a really intense story that makes you relate to the character. Finding out he's just been off with a bunch of other people for years, like it takes away the weight
Island
of
full
his
of people.
seclusion. Yeah, it takes away how good the first episode was, seeing the residual effects of him being
Right.
left alone. It
Oh,
kind of erases all
Come
that.
on, he's making his own clothes.
Yeah.
He's making
He
homemade
went
bows
back
and
home
arrows.
at one point.
Yeah,
He
and
killed
then-
his sister's boyfriend.
Well, come on. And then the stupid
Whatever.
ass, and then all of a sudden he's making all that stuff, and then you have people running around with army fatigues
Yeah.
and fully automatic weapons and trucks
Stop with
and
the island shit.
everything.
Just stop. Stop. Because now even the intro to the show, he's like, after 5 years of hell or 5 years by myself, he has to change that now because he can't say that anymore. So
5
it's
years
just-
with hanging
just-
with some assholes.
Stop the island. Let's just move past the fucking island. It doesn't matter anymore. Nobody
Okay,
cares.
my thoughts on Thea Queen.
Oh,
My thoughts on Thea Queen, actually, with her fighting, I thought a lot of her training was because, for me, the reasons were that I was taken from that was because she was so enraged and so angry with stuff that was going on that that's all she focused on. So I could picture her training even after she was done with Merlin, like still doing stuff all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe she just kind of. But the other stuff though, I like her as a character. I like the Speedy or Red Arrow character that she took up. The thing I don't like, and it's with a lot of the characters on here, is that they all have some type of relationship that they need to just let go. Like, I don't know, I'm tired of, oh, my father, okay, and then he betrayed me. He made me kill somebody, spoilers. He did this, he did that, but I'm going to still love, okay, he said happy birthday, so I'm going to love him. Like, it's so stupid sometimes. Like, Diggle did it with his brother, Thea's doing it with her father. Like, all these people have
Also,
somebody in
Oliver
there.
did it with
Can,
his mom.
can I interject, like, to go with your points?
Yeah.
Can Captain Lance and fucking Oliver just figure out if they like each other or not? Because it's like, they hate each other. No, they like each other. No, I hate the Arrow. No, I like the Arrow. No, I'm working with them. No, he can go to hell. Like, just
Yeah,
figure
it's
the fuck
just,
out.
like,
Sorry,
you're-
go ahead.
I mean, with shows, you're going to have that, the relationship with that has the, the tug of war back and forth, but like every fucking body in this universe has somebody that they just can't like seem to either let go or like, okay, we're gonna have this relationship and we're gonna work on it, or no, just stay the fuck away from me. Like, it's just too much with all these guys. Like Felicity, all of
Man,
them.
we'll
see,
hold off
but
on that.
let's go in on the point that he's making here. 90% of Oliver Queen's problems regarding his own team are the fact that he just doesn't be honest with them and tell them shit that happened. Like, he finds out he has an illegitimate bastard child, right, this year. And,
Jon
like,
Snow.
and so the mom says he could see her as long as he doesn't tell anybody, including Felicity. Now, this chick lives in a different city. He could easily be like, Felicity, hey, I have a kid, and she doesn't want me to say anything, so I'm not gonna, so just pretend like you don't know, but I have to spend time with him. Like, okay.
Right.
No, he chooses to do nothing about it, and it costs him the relationship. So what did you think of that?
Just
It's
saying-
the same with what you're saying. Yeah.
it's the same. This I don't know if it's a Berlanti thing, but like.
Also,
Like, there's a lot of dishonesty, and like it's like just tell people like at this point, Oliver, you didn't tell people about a lot of stuff on the island. You didn't tell this and that, but now you have a team that has been dedicated to you, and they're working with you. Start telling them the shit.
yeah, they're gonna die for you.
Yeah.
You can be honest.
Here's
with them.
what's bad. When the criminals tell you to be honest with your team,
Yeah.
something ain't right. It is annoying. I love this show, but
It's a
there's
lot.
different things they could do to make it way
The
better.
problem with this specific show is there's a lot of things that people can point out to be like, well, this is cheesy. Well, this doesn't make any sense. Well, this is stupid. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not as solid as some of the other shows.
Well,
It's
staying
still
with
good,
your
though.
part, Vic, every person that is on Oliver's team has had that same issue with
Yeah,
them.
it's like they would learn by
Everyone.
watching that later. But let's also talk about, okay, so we have at the mid-season break, Felicity gets shot, paralyzed, so hey, discount Oracle, and then gets like a fucking microchip implanted in her spine to make her walk again. Now, I'm not going to argue the science of that because we're watching this show, so fuck it, right? But why would you do that then? If you're going to make the character get shot, get paralyzed to try to give us a sense of like finale or like something big has just happened, and then 3 episodes later she could walk. Like, you're totally negating any emotion that came out of that. Like, that was fucking stupid.
Again, they didn't let it soak in. They
No.
didn't let it.
Oh,
resonate
exactly.
with
I would have
the
rather
viewers.
her not
Let her-
walk until the end of this,
Yeah.
till the season
Yeah.
I was gonna be
finale.
paralyzed for a
You
couple
know?
seasons.
A
Who
couple
cares?
seasons, and all
Yeah.
of a sudden she gets this.
Then
chick.
it would be like this big thing about her being able to walk again, but as it stood, like, we didn't care. So let's keep going down Team Arrow. Laurel Lance, aka Black Canary, grew on me a lot more this season. I liked her a lot. But she's dead. Spoilers.
Not really.
Not really. Do you think she's staying dead? Do we like
Nobody
her?
in this universe stays dead. They all come back. So
Especially now that time travel is introduced by
Again,
2 other
And
shows.
A lot of-
other Earths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they showed an evil one in
Yeah,
that one.
she's pretty hot now.
Oh
Flash.
God!
so
Not that I noticed that. Kind of
it
shit.
just it goes. I don't, again, doesn't resonate with the viewers. Like, they don't let it last long enough. Like, if these people die, then now we can just assume, oh, they'll be back.
Yeah.
So there's no real
no
like,
stakes.
oh crap, that person's gone. Like, who are they going to replace her with, or are they going to replace her? None of those thoughts run through my head anymore. I'm just like, okay, she's gone for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe whatever, she'll be back next season or
Mhm.
something. So it's just, yeah. But I mean, as far as her character as the Black Canary, it was cool. She grew on me. And then when she had her interactions with Cisco and like upgrading her canary call and stuff like that, it was really cool. So
You liked her then?
Yeah, I did. The way they grew her as the Black Canary in this season, I really enjoyed. I like the fact that she, at first, it was kind of like she had a reason she was being like that, and it was about losing her sister at first, and now it gradually becomes where she's making a difference, and she's good at it, and she's been that sturdy focal point for the team to keep them going when they're having tough times, and I really liked it.
Yeah.
I thought she proceeded really
I'm
well.
actually quite sad she's the one who died.
and with go ahead because you haven't said your part of that.
Oh, I like her. She's cool. I have like really deep thoughts
I
about
was
her.
just gonna go into her training.
Okay.
The thing I did like what they did with her training was Oliver kept saying no. I'm not going to train you. You don't need to do this kind of. You shouldn't be involved in this kind of stuff. As you shouldn't get as deep as we are. Blah blah blah. She goes out and gets this guy to train her. This MMA fighter.
Yeah,
The former vigilante.
Yeah, the former vigilante. She's still not great. It's not like Thea. She didn't just come out great. She was getting her ass whooped.
Yeah,
Like,
they
she would
show
go
her
up
getting
against
beat.
people and she would get beat up, and then Oliver would have to come save her and like, look, dummy, I don't want you doing this. But she could still do it because she's so stubborn. And this is after she found out her sister died.
Yep.
Right. So
Yeah.
that's why she takes up the Black Canary. But yeah, there was a lot of episodes where she wasn't just perfect. She was getting her ass whooped. She was actually, so her training took a little while. Still, I guess, kind of a little bit fast, but not as fast as Thea, I think. So
But when they brought her back in the fall this season, after a little bit of time had lapsed,
yeah,
she seemed to have adapted
Yeah, she was better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she got better.
Okay,
more better.
So let's go into Felicity and talk about Felicity in general. I loved Felicity. She was one of my favorite characters on the show. One of the main reasons this show had a sense of humor and a sense of heart.
Yeah.
She was great, and it started in season 2. She had a lot of flirty stuff with Oliver. Like, he'd be working out, she would start stuttering and lose what she was saying, and comments on him or Ray being hot. Ray Palmer, he's in Legends. He was this character that got spun off on this show. But then they had to get her into a relationship with Oliver because people were demanding it, and it felt forced like a motherfucker. Stefan Amell felt like he just didn't care. Every other episode, they made her cry, which is taken away from the strengths and the natural charisma of that actress and the character itself. And they kind of really ruined her character. They made her whiny and bitchy. They ruined that relationship for no reason. It made me dislike Oliver more because of his line. So I'm done with it. I don't want them back together at all. I wish they had never done it, and I'm pissed that they ruined Felicity. What do you guys think on that topic?
Pretty much on the same page with you with that whole thing. Everything you just said was right on.
John, Felicity? By the
She
way, the
looks
people
like-
on Reddit are a lot meaner than us.
Yeah.
It's just-
She's a lot hotter with glasses than she is without them, in my opinion. I feel the same way as you guys do. I liked her as a character, but you put her in. I liked her better with Ray than I did with Oliver.
Me too. A lot better. Me
Yeah,
too.
I really did. And now it's like, yeah, I'd be perfectly happy if they didn't get back together. I think they're gonna try it again. The way they were starting to get more flirty with each other towards the end.
'Cause, like,
I'm
what's the
worried.
point- What's the point of breaking them up then? It's
Yeah.
just there's no point to it. A fun fact: the ending of this show, the finale episode, pissed people off so much, and the Felicity thing pissed people off so much. On Reddit, the official thread for Arrow got changed to start talking about Daredevil, the show.
What?
People got that
that's
pissed off.
Bad.
Okay, so at the end of the show, they defeat Damien Dark, and they pretty much Team Arrow disbands. So my question to you guys is, what do we want to see have happen from here? As far as we know it, the end of the episode, it's just going to be Arrow and Felicity, and I assume John's going to come back. I assume Theo will come back at some point. I assume everybody's going to come back at some point. As far as what I want to see, except for what I want to see in the next season. I want to see it not take itself so seriously, not try to be dark and stoic as much all the time. I think that's where the show, if it doesn't take itself with a sense of humor, the show suffers because of it, and I hope they learn how to do that. What do you guys want to see out of next season?
I want to see some more humor, not so dark and brooding, or trying to be dark and brooding. As far as a team, I think I know. I'm hoping Theo will come back because I like to see Green Arrow and Red Arrow together. It's like Batman and Robin.
It just looks cool.
So, and as far as even Felicity, I mean, she was a good discount Oracle. I mean, she's given gives them their intel and stuff. So I mean, just those three would be fine with me, as long as Oliver and Felicity aren't together, like we just pointed out. So, but let's see. So Speedy comes back. Felicity, that would be cool with me. I would love to see that happen. I'm gonna make a prediction. Black Canary's coming back, so she'll be, because ultimately, for those of us that have read some of the comics, like you know that the Black Canary and Green Arrow, they get together. So I want to see that happen, and for them to actually make a relationship that is something that people want to see and doesn't seem forced and stuff like that. So
My God, I thought he was just gonna say make a little arrow, baby. Sorry. I would like to see next season the team get back together, but I like it to be over, not okay, we're not together. End of the first season, now we're together.
I see them gradually
I
start
like
coming
to
back
see
together.
gradually start,
that's a
maybe
good point,
even one at a time. You know. I like the season, and it's funny the way we are. Maybe it's just because the way we are as friends or fanboys or whatever. Even a show that we like, we point at, nitpick the shit out of.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things I would have liked to have seen gone a little different in this season, but I was still entertained through the whole season.
So that pretty much sums it up. We all really like Arrow. We're a fan of the show. It's entertaining as hell. It's not the easiest sell to people. I've never seen a show that in the same episode can be incredibly cheesy and way too serious for itself. Like, it's actually a neat fucking trick sometimes. But we like the show. We have high hopes for next season, and we want it to be good. We want it to be the level that we know it can be, because it was really good at one point. And now, to me, it's just kind of okay. But I'm still very interested to see what's going to happen, and I want it to be good.
right.
So, that'll about do it. Thanks for joining us on this episode of the world's greatest news and reviews. Be sure to like and subscribe. Follow us on Facebook. All right? Have a good night. Jeremy.
Bring back Crixus and Naked Xena.
And Nathan Sudeikis. See, I
Just
think I
fucking
actually
watch
got it on one
Spartacus
video.
for that.
Well, let's bring the whole cast of Spartacus at this point.
That
This
was
is
Well,
good.
they are on Arrow. Fucking half of them.
Well,
are on
they
Arrow,
do.
so-